Hey guys, excuse my sniffling and snorting throughout this video. I just wanted to make a video oh, on bullying and my story. I touched base a few months ago about my struggle with depression and depressive illness. I didn't actually go into detail about depressive illness, but I felt comfortable discussing the depression side of it, but not the rest. I still don't feel comfortable discussing depressive illnesses and mood disorders and stuff, which yeah, I don't feel comfortable discussing that with people at the moment. So yeah, I'm just gonna touch base on bullying and my story, and I hope I can help you all out. Again, so far I started sniffling and all that because I had the flu shot a couple of days ago, and apparently side effects are you're gonna not get the flu, but get the symptoms because it's your body fighting against the flu vaccine and the vaccine getting into your immune system or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to touch base on bullying. Okay, so I started getting bullied pre-primary / year 1, which is grade 1. It was mainly due to my disability called spina bifida, which means I walk funny. I walk like with a wobble, like a major wobble. I hold on to things and people help me get stable. I use things called AFOs, which is just like splints, and they're supposed to just help my feet stay straight because my feet are like on an angle. Like I don't know, you can call them duck feet, I guess. I got bullied about with that all through high school and primary school, mainly primary school to be honest. Yeah, so I missed a lot of school because I hated the bullying. I wanted to get out of bullying, and telling teachers just made it worse. Like they'd be like, "Oh, you're such a dobber," and then start on that and start back bullying, and it got worse and worse. It never got to the point like I got bashed or anything. It was just verbal stuff. But yeah, one of the main chicks that used to bully me, she actually got to the point where she was copying everything I'd done, like the way I walked and everything. And thank God one of the teachers spotted her out. And you know how you are. You get told to apologize. You apologize, but it's all fake and shit. And it's like they apologize, so you have to forgive them and say you forgive them. But it's like you just can do it again. So why the hell should I forgive you for bullying me when you're just gonna be doing it like 5 minutes later? Anyway, there were about every year of primary school, which is 7 years, I probably had about 3 or 4 bullies. Yeah, thank God half of them left the school. Don't know why, but yeah. So if one left the school, I can't really remember most of my primary school years. It wasn't actually just the students that bullied me. It was more as it was the teachers picking on me. Like I'll be the only one in this class getting picked on by the teachers, like called up by the teachers, and it's like I'll be in there doing my work, and the next minute I'm getting called up by the teacher and getting told off for like full on yelled at because I got a maths problem wrong, or I wrote in like my writing wasn't neat enough or something. Yeah, so that was mainly in grade 4. I hate that teacher. And yeah, um so I remember really probably 1 or 2 of the boys, to be honest. I had an ex-mate who we used to fall out a lot, and we recently fallen out like last year. Again, she just stopped talking to me, and I can't bother with that shit. Anyway, she used to bully me too. Like we'd fall out, she'd bully me. I do nothing back, and yeah, so I'm like, yeah, what's up with that? And there was one bully. She was like real popular at primary school, and yeah, she was all big and tough and shit just because her grandmother worked at the school. And I don't care if people see this and they recognise who they are or who I'm referring to, they can just get over it. But the funny thing is, now I've left school, primary and high school, all those bullies are like totally friendly with me. Like I've got half of them on Facebook and they're all like fucking friendly and all this shit. And I'm like, I'm like, you gave me shit at school, so why the fuck are you being friendly to me now? Like, you know? Like I had them or they had me, like anyways, payback because like half of them are like in failed relationships or pregnant or had kids, and I'm like, I've got none of that. I've got no relationship, which I'm kind of happy about. I'm kind of bummed about it. I've got no kids, which I'm bummed about, but happy about, because I'm 22 and free to do what I want. And these people are, sorry about that, these people are having kids, had kids on their second or third kid, and they're stuck down being housewife all the time. And I'm like, yeah, well, like, I'm saying kids is karma, but yeah, it's sort of like karma in a way. It's like, well, you treat me like shit, and now you've got these kids to deal with, and see what they're going to deal with at school. And if they get bullied, then you know exactly what you put me through by seeing what your kids got put through. But anyway, those kids aren't at school anymore. I don't know. I know I seem like a bitch right now, but yeah. Anyway, in high school, no, we'll just finish. Year 7, I got my year 4 teacher's husband, and that bullies the one that had her grandmother at school. I got her grandmother as my teacher, two teachers in year 7, because we had a split class of year 6 and year 7. And like they'd have like the teachers would go half day each, or one day one teacher would teach, the other day another teacher would teach. Anyway, yeah, so in that class there was this like hot ass guy. He was like totally up himself, and like I would just like look over at the board, and he'll be like, "Oh, you look at me," and like he would like flick me in the back of the head and shit, or like tap my desk or throw stuff at me, and then he'd be like, "Oh, stop staring at me," and I'm like, "Well, fucking leave me alone." But then luckily those teachers didn't tell me off for swearing, but yeah. And yeah, he was up himself in that. Anyway, high school, year 8 was just people being really mature. Year 8 when I got teased about having the wheelchair more like kids when I was at school, they'd like when I was wheeling along, they would put their foot under the wheelchair, or they would grab the wheelchair while I was in class, grab the wheelchair and just run around with it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Or they'll come up behind, you know, at my back when I wasn't expecting it. Also, there was one student in years 9 to 10 and 11. I kind of bummed out at year 11 because all this bullying got to me. She'd be like picking on me full time, like full stop. We had like 3 classes together, and I'm like, why the fuck am I in your class? Like, at first in year 9 or 10, she wasn't in any of my classes, and she got put in my class because she asked them to, because they do that to make your life better at school. Put them in class with your friends, because her friends were in the class, and I'm like, and she'd pick on me and like call me names and do my weight and shit. So I'm like, yeah, and I bit back one day, and she's all like, oh, don't you want me fucking out and all this? And I'm like, well, fucking leave me alone. And then she got pulled up by the teacher and like they yelled at, and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, and I found out she's pregnant too, or she's had a kid too. I'm like, what the fuck? Not that kids are burdens or anything, okay? I love kids, I wish I had a kid, but yeah, these people are gonna know what I went through just because what their kids are gonna go through at school too. Anyway, she was the main one at school. Actually, to be perfectly clear, at high school, the popular kids weren't the ones picked on me. It was just the little idiots, basically. One kid in year 8 would pick on me, a guy, and then his sister would back me up. Like, he was a twin, and his sister would come up to me and like apologise for him, and I'm like, yeah, or whatever. Anyway, so I bummed out year 11, like the first semester, which is the first 2 terms, I went to put my fingers down at that, so in the first 2 terms, I bummed out because I had a teacher for cooking, which is like home economic class, and caring for children, which I know I took that class, because, yeah, and she'd pick on me like all the time. I'd be the only one she picked on the whole class and that. I had her earlier in like year 8, and she picked on me then, but anyway, we're in year 11. She picked on me then too, and yeah, it just got too much, and I bummed out because of her, and yeah, I just didn't like school at that point. I wanted to stay for year 12, but school just wasn't for me, so I bummed out, if you call it, or dropped out. And yeah, about A month after I dropped out, I heard that teacher picked up me in year 11. I left the school like 2 weeks after I left school, and I'm like, yeah, she probably got caught up at bullying her students. Okay, so, and bullying doesn't. Oh no! Oh shit, sorry, I thought I pressed stop. Anyway, bullying does not stop when you leave school, trust me. I volunteered at this place, and this chick would be like, look at me. One day, like, cause I man the desk, which is money and checking off people's names, and I asked her, what number are we up to on handing out the numbers? Cause, you know, you hand out the number and you call that number and that person comes up and does their thing like I do. And I'm like, what number are we up to? And then she totally ignores me. And then I get lost on what the number is, so I just pick out the number that's there at the front of the ticket book. And because we used the front of the ticket book up to like number 30 and then flipped it over from number 100 all the way from like number 50 to 100. And I've used the number book that we're up to, what I thought we're up to, because it was on that one side. It was like it was on the 30 side, like, you know, the lower to the higher number. And I was handing it out. I asked her clearly, and my mum was there. I asked her what number we're up to. She's like, walks off. 20 minutes later, comes in and is like, oh, what number are up to? I'm like, this number. She's like, oh, we're not doing that side of the book. And I'm like, well, I did ask you clearly. And then she has a full and go at me, like, yelling at me and shit. And then my mum comes in and, like, totally backs me up, and that chick hates me. And, yeah, the bullying does not stop there. There's also bullying within families, like my family, my dad's side, they kept bugging me and my brother, or just me at least. From when we were 12, it's like, when we were 12, 13, what do you want to do when you grow up and get out of school? I hit 16, 17, and they're like, oh, when are you going to get a boyfriend? When are you going to, have babies and that? And I'm like, because all my cousins are, like, way older than me. They're, like, in their 30s now. At the time, they're, like, in their 20s. But, yeah, it's like, I'll have kids when I'm ready, you know? So anyway, that is my story of bullying. I'm so sorry this video is very quiet. I will hope to God it's like, you can turn the volume up on it. Thank you for watching this, and yeah, this is hopefully going to help someone out, and hopefully someone who is a bully listens to this and listens to the shit you go through every single fucking day and realizes what they're doing is stupid, like stupidity at its worst, or best. But yeah, it's worst or best, which is the saying. Anyway, so thank you for watching. I hope I got through this alright, and I hope you got through this alright. Love you all. Bye.